Hello, everyone. Welcome to the network. Welcome to the Two Dads edition.
Wait, that's not it.
Start again.
Two Dads, Gen X edition. That's a great beginning.
Man, you look good.
Thank you. Thank you. I need to get a new shirt, though. This has got.
I'm kind of like, damn, now I got to do your diet.
Yeah, dude.
I've had 4,000.
It's a great diet.
To do
I'll hook you up with my coach.
Yeah.
So it's been worth the effort. I'm almost down 120 pounds.
That's awesome. Are things starting to pop out a little better?
You mean like my muscles? Yes. Because I know that's what you meant, right?
That is totally what I meant. So
no, it feels good. The clothes that I bought because I'd lost so much weight, I have to now replace because I've lost even more weight.
Yeah, so you're gonna buy new clothes.
Well, no, I'm not because I don't like buying clothes. I don't like spending money on unnecessarily.
Okay. So what was the worst thing you ever wore on a date or to pick up a girl?
Oh, on a date? Gosh, so when I went to go meet that girl at a state,
Yeah.
I still had I didn't have any. I hadn't replaced my shirts yet. I had pants that fit, but my shirts were all still like 4X, and so it's like it almost looked like skinny jeans and this big, huge, blowy shirt. It was so bad. Yeah.
That's funny.
Bless you. Bless
Sorry.
you. I didn't know that you were allergic to the clothes I wore.
Well, I mean, your fashion was so bad, it fucking made me sneeze.
You know, I wear dad clothes. I guess grandpa clothes now. But
Clothes.
yeah, I've got A6 tennis shoes.
Did you ever wear flip-flops with socks?
Not flip-flops, but, you know, we used to call them Jerusalem Cruisers.
What?
Jerusalem Cruisers.
That's what
you know, the strap, like the dad sandals, right?
So
like Velcro and stuff. I wore those with socks.
What are those? God, what brand was that? The
Walmart, whatever.
Okay.
I told you I don't like spending money.
Well, okay, so I think today we should talk about fashion faux pas with time dating and actually
Faux pas?
faux pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
There we go. That works. And the S is silent. It's faux pas.
Oh, I had a speech impediment where S's were like, so, silly Sally.
So a fashion faux
That
pas.
and R's. I couldn't say R's.
Oh, okay.
That'd be wow.
Sorry that you struggled with that. My brother did too. One of them.
Yeah, so that's why I asked, like, what was the worst thing you ever did? Or, like, when you went out, did you find that you were kind of getting those looks of, like,
So because I moved here from New York, right?
Yeah.
When I was 12. When I moved here, everybody else was wearing different style clothes than I was.
oh, yeah, that was for me in Utah and
Yeah, because
Arizona to here. Yeah.
when I moved here, I was wearing I had like my dad's old olive green army pants and jeans and stuff that I would tight roll, and then I would wear what I forget. I think I just wore tennis shoes with them, but I would tight roll, and then I had like a T-shirt, but then a dress shirt, a button-down shirt that was open.
Was it tucked?
Yeah. I wore like khaki pants and tight roll them and all that.
Yeah.
So nobody was wearing that when I moved here. After like the next school year, everybody was tight rolling their pants.
Yeah, honestly, I think tight rolling, well, really in the Midwest, everything is about 2.5 to 3 years behind the East Coast and West Coast. Even music is like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's always so far behind. Well, it's not now, but back then, it took a while for music to get to the Central.
Yeah.
And it was the same way. Like, I came, I mean, I was, a skater boy, and nobody
Said, see
skated
you later,
here.
boy.
Nobody skated. I'd literally be like, hey, dude, what's up, man? So I like cowabunga, dude, kind of thing.
Did you really say cowabunga?
I would. Because Ninja Turtles were popular, and it was just kind of like, whoa,
Right,
gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
And so Fast Time Original High, right? And he's like, oh, man. What's up, dude?
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
But, so it's kind of funny because it's like I moved here, and it was like, we were pretty poor, so I pretty much got my brother's T-shirts, hand-me-downs, jeans. I think I had the same pair. Shoes usually were just bare, and most of the time I just went barefoot.
Yeah.
But I did socks with sandals because I couldn't afford shoes. So in the wintertime, I literally had socks and sandals, and I got made fun of so bad.
Yeah.
And it was like in those Big Johnson T-shirts.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
It's like that's all I had, and teachers would make me turn them inside out because they thought they were inappropriate. But on the West Coast, everyone had them; they didn't give a crap. And then for some reason, everybody wore that Varnet France crap.
What?
It was like this French brand. It was like Varnet France.
See, I thought I was cool because I had the coolest shorts. I wore them all the time. They were fluorescent pink.
No homo.
No, they're bright fluorescent pink. I thought they were the coolest thing.
But that was
And I wore
in the 80s,
K-Swiss. Remember the white canvas K-Swiss?
Oh yeah.
I had some of the original ones.
Well, I had the Converse because you could afford Converse because they were cheap back then. They were like $12 for shoes.
No, but we did hand-me-downs too. I have 9 brothers and sisters, and so the food, or not the food, but the clothing budget was not very big. We'd get like 2 pairs of jeans and a new pair of shoes for school, but that was it.
Okay, so we definitely weren't the most fashionable people in high school.
Far from.
And what's great is I had a psychology teacher that would give us extra credit if we wore the same outfit for a month, and then we had to write like a little essay on how people responded. And I'm like, nobody noticed because it was the same fucking shit that I wore all the time. It's like,
you're like, oh, only a month? Dang.
And I honestly would go probably like 3 weeks without washing my jeans, and then I'd wash them, and they were like so pretty, and I'd get so mad. I'm like, first stain, and then after that, I didn't give a crap because it was just like brown.
Yeah, because sweat.
They're doing
this,
chalk,
horrible,
arts, football, other things.
Other things, yeah.
I mean, heck, I even wore jeans to church for, I think for like probably half a year. And then my mom bought me this Texas. Well, we went to Salvation Army, and it was like this all white, light
half
gray.
of my wardrobe now is from Savers.
Suit and a bolo tie.
You had a bolo tie? That's right. I remember the bolo tie.
Because it was just from this stupid fucking suit. And it looked so bad. And our producer's sister was like, where are you from? Texas? She like did this accent to it. Are you from Texas?
She made fun of you.
No. Why?
Yeah.
Funny.
The thing is like I didn't pay attention to what I was wearing. I didn't care.
Yeah. Well, and it was hard, growing here because, Shawnee Mission and now Blue Valley, it's one of the higher end dollar districts,
for Kansas City.
in the country. And so it was really hard being kind of the poor kid. And at first it really bothered me until people didn't care. Like I realized people really didn't give a crap. They just care about who you are and stuff like that. So how did that translate to you as you got older?
Well, I mean, I got married to my first wife kind of young, so I was focused on making sure my kids had clothes.
That's true.
I mean, but no, I didn't really keep up with styles or anything like that. I wore what was comfortable, and that's it, because I was working and I was raising kids, and so I didn't really care. I didn't really focus on it.
Well, and my brother was really good at, he would actually buy a new shirt like probably every 2 weeks with his paycheck and stuff. And if I was lucky, let me use it. If like if there's a girl I liked, I'd kind of do a button down and jeans and borrow his jeans and my flip flop and socks. And I remember when I got my first real job, I went to the Buckle to get a shirt, and I was like, I'm gonna really dress up more because I want to look better. I want to feel better, because studies have shown that if we kind of dress how we feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we feel overweight and kind of fat, we kind of want to hide and not want to show it. And
I did say that when I went on that trip, I had my 4X shirts, right?
Yeah. and so it kind of projects that confidence that we kind of talked about in that last episode. So I kind of wanted to build onto this on fashion mistakes and how to dress for success.
Yeah. When
you go out to date. And so kind of carries over from, Crazy Stupid Love, where we got to change your outfit, we got to dress you up. And so I recognized early on that I had to dress better. And I didn't have to like go buy $10,000 outfits or anything like that. It's just something a little more slimming, more fitting, but not so tight that your belly's hanging out,
Right.
you know, kind of thing.
Right.
And I don't know. Have you ever seen that show, How I Met Your Mother?
Oh yeah, love that show.
Oh my gosh. So like Barney always doing suit up. I'll meet you at the bar. Suit up. And I always found that really funny. And I think actually we have one of my favorite clips of that show.
Hey, so you know how I've always had a thing for half Asian girls? Well, now I've got a new favorite. Lebanese girls. Okay, meet me at the bar in 15 minutes and suit up! Hey, where's your suit? Just once when I say suit up, I wish you'd put on a suit.
I did that one time.
Yeah, so Barney's like, suit up. Because in his mind, the only way you can get somebody is if you dress to impress. And his whole persona and that whole show, even when he's getting Robin, he has the book
Yeah.
to get Robin. It was the playbook of Robin. And the whole show shows that once he realized he loved Robin, that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
And so his mindset went from suiting up, fake persona, fake person, fake everything. And so really my question is to you, do you feel like you have to suit up and kind of be different to who you really are, or do you kind of dress to who your personality is? So
Well, I think honestly, I think part of it is this is part of my personality. I'm a dad, right? So there's that I always want to be comfortable. I don't care what I'm wearing, even like with a suit, or whatever it is. I want to be comfortable, but I also want to look good in it. And so, but I don't want to look like a douchebag.
right.
One of the things so I grew up in
So you wouldn't have like the
No.
long tie with the
what, cufflinks?
cufflinks. I almost said
No, I would
almost said
totally-
money clips.
No, not money clip. But I would totally do a shirt with cufflinks if I had the right suit, right?
Right.
But where I grew up, so I grew up around there were a lot of people that had money. One of the things that's really interesting is that people who actually have money don't necessarily wear the flashy,
Yeah.
Labels over everything. They have very, very high quality, very expensive stuff sometimes, but you wouldn't know it because it's not brands of clothing that are flashing the brand of clothing.
Right.
They just wear really good quality clothes.
Close, yeah.
And so when I think of like people who are douchebags, I think of like the guys who are wearing like the shirts and it's got Gucci everywhere on them, and
The
they're wearing the
bling.
massive glasses, the sunglasses, because the latest narco, whoever drug dealer that got arrested had them.
Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry, but like Pitbull, or Jersey Shore,
Yeah.
those guys. So to me, that doesn't look good.
Well, it's almost the fashion of the time too, because it's like
Sure.
because you got, and there's different ways to dress. Because like I learned over time that it's like, okay, I want a nice button down, but I don't want it so tight that I can't move
Right.
my arms.
Right.
But I also don't want it so baggy that like when I was proposing, I'm kneeling down, it looks like my belly's hanging out.
Right.
But that was all shirt. That's not me at all. And I was just
Mhm.
like, oh man, that looks horrible. But I'm like,
And the right cut, the right fit matters.
and that does come with money. Unfortunately, they've made it to
does.
where it costs more money. Because I remember, like, I used to go to Banana Republic on the sales rack and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and then it kind of went. I don't want to say more gay, but it's just they focused more on the gay market, the super slim,
Yeah.
market. And
Yeah.
and
I think of
same with
Twilight as
Guess and-
destroying what
Yeah.
a masculine man looks like because they were all so skinny.
Yeah. Well, and I don't say that in a bad way. It's just the persona was super thin,
Yeah.
slim fit, tiny, and the only ones that could really fit in that were
Are models.
we got models basically. Models, gay guys that work out all the time, kind of stuff that don't have dad bods.
Right.
You know?
But the
And-
dad bod, there are styles of clothes that they look really good in.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of what are they? The True Classic tees.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they-
they fit great.
Are they good?
Oh yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. So,
I thought about buying some
but
of those.
but yeah. So I mean, one of the things that people can do though is when they go and buy the clothes off the rack, right? You can go have them tailored,
That's more money.
but it's not that much more money.
That's more
I mean,
money.
like I bought a suit for my daughter's wedding. I I got it tailored. It was $100 to get it tailored, but it was, a cheap suit at $400.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's an extra $100, but it fit better. And so you can do that with jeans, you can do that with shirts, dress shirts, whatever. But there's a lot of different ways to make it look more custom and more high end without it looking high end. Well, the real high end thing is just that they fit.
Well, and I definitely feel like when I went out and when I did date, I did have more confidence when I was wearing a button down and jeans that fit better, my cowboy boots. And I was more. And I got more receptive responses, too, opposed to when I wore my brewery shirts and my cargo pants and flip-flops. And it's like, oh, this guy. And a girl did tell me once that if you don't value how you look, why would I value you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's a money issue right there. It's like, are you looking at how I dress based on money? Or are you thinking – because Warren Buffett didn't dress really nice either for a long time. And there's some of the millionaires that – like Adam Sandler – doesn't even own a suit. Like, he doesn't own one suit at all, from what I remember reading the article. And it's always baggy shorts, jeans. He goes, because I dress
sweatshirts.
I want to be comfortable.
Yeah, but he's got the money to do that.
But he's also married and kids and stuff like that. So,
but see, I don't want to present a false image though either. I don't want to dress something other than I am in the sense that I don't want to be a Barney Stinson. I don't want to like suit up all the time and make it look like I'm this formal whatever with all this money because I don't have money.
You don't want to call me and say, hey Dawson, let's go out.
No, I'd totally go out, but it's like,
and I'm gonna call you while playing laser tag and be like, Dawson, I need you, like Barney does, and go, I'll be there, bar in 15 minutes. Suit up.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
We'll play that clip too.
Yeah, let's play that clip.
'Cause nothing suits the undisputed, absolute suitor of repute like wait for it.
Now that I'm, kind of spreading those wings and going out in the dating world, that's kind of what I got to figure out how to dress. I saw this clip of Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was in his bodybuilding days.
Yeah.
And he was working with a real short bodybuilder. I don't know why so many bodybuilders are always so short, but anyway, so he was talking about how the guy was like coming in with his flex, and he was like, "No, go out, show off." But it made me think about like now that I'm getting myself out there, how can I do that with like the way that I dress myself? Because like I said, I wear Asics, the dad shoe.
Well, and the one thing I noticed after my divorce, I did start dressing better. Sort of like if I knew I was going out with my friends and we were going to watch a band or whatever, then I would wear a button down or a polo and just nice jeans. I had one pair of jeans that I tried not to do any construction stuff in it, house stuff, painting, because every pair of jeans I have has expansion foam.
It used to be, all my
clothes
were work
nice
clothes.
Things kind of thing. And I did find the responses a little better, but I've also been one of those kind of people that could talk to anybody anywhere. And so, like, as I sit down and do whatever, I actually found when I did suit up, it actually was harder to talk to girls because
it didn't feel like you.
I didn't feel like me, and it also came across like I was trying to pick up a girl.
Yeah, see, I don't
it's
want to
like
be
the
a
mindset
douchebag.
of, and I noticed that especially at Bro Top, or I like to call it Bro Top, Brew Top.
Oh,
Because
gotcha.
it's mostly like I think it's like 80% guys and 20% girls. So Vanessa, if you need a guy, that's where you go, kind of thing. But like, it's just
We
one
need
of
her
those.
back on. She's pretty cool.
I know she was funny, but it was one of those things that I realized that when I was more casual, and I did find that like, okay, if I at least wear like jeans and nice shoes and a shirt that's a little more fitting,
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be $120, $200 shirt. It could be a nice T-shirt that's actually more like those comfort tees things that you mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a little more
The true
flattering,
classics,
but
yeah.
also not so baggy, and so it just kind of made me understand that it's just a little cheaper. You know, not too bad. But I will admit, like, pants have always been the hardest thing for me to find that fit and look good, that aren't like
Too much room?
bulgy and stuff. Too much room? No.
Yeah, too much room in the crotch? Is that
No, that's the problem. They're not. And so it's like either not enough room so that I feel like I was tasting my own nuts, or, you know,
hate when that happens.
it's like I should have shaved kind of thing. Or, you know, you're just kind of like, what the hell? Or they're so baggy, the crotch is so low that it just is awkward feeling when you sit
Yeah.
down and stuff like that. And so
Then it bunches up and it looks like you have a perpetual hard-on.
it's just like, nope, I'm not.
Yeah,
I
every
swear.
time it's
I'm
like,
just
"Ah,
talking to you.
no,
What are you
there's no-
doing?
it's all good. Don't worry.
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's just my wallet. I swear. Kind of thing. But
Yeah.
have you ever had a girl point that out to you?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you happy to see me, or are you kind
No,
of
no,
too
but
bad?
she like noticed, was like, "What is that?" I was like, "It just bunches up," and I like flattened it, and she's like, "Oh, okay."
or was she more like, oh?
I don't think she was interested after that though.
She's like, oh, okay. It went really flat and
Right?
flush.
Yeah.
Why was it so flush to your pelvis?
I told you that story about whitewater rafting though, right?
Yeah, there's always shrinkage when you go in a cold water.
34-degree water. It was horrible. Anyway.
I always have to tell my techs and some female nurses, it's like, dude, because they're all saying, all the guys are tiny wieners. We can't put the little Purewick on them. It's like, hospitals are cold. There's shrinkage. And if you don't use it, you lose it. It will definitely shrink like an inch to 2 inches
Well,
if
that
you don't
sucks.
use it anymore. Side note, girls.
Anyway.
So you are going out dating more. So have you
I'm, like,
changed it
starting
a little
to-
bit? Are you going out like that in your Gen
You know,
X
I don't-
dad
I mean-
shirt and trying to get some fame out of this? Or
No, I'm not. I mean, maybe it would help. I don't know.
your name's on the back. Everyone's like,
Right.
"That's Jason! Jason!" Oh, it's Jason's over there. That's
Yeah.
James! That's
Yeah.
James! Shit, you're my co-host for how long? And I said the
It's
wrong
all right.
name.
It's
I,
all
I
right.
was kind of looking at him when I was going with the joke.
No, but I mean, like I haven't gone out much. That's the thing, is like I'm still trying to figure out what that's going to look like and what women are like nowadays. Because, you know, like I think was it last episode, the episode before, where I said I've been married a cumulative of 21 years.
Yeah.
You know,
When you subtracted your first 15 years on top
right,
of that. So
right, yeah.
He's like,
So-
I've only really been dating for 4.5 weeks of my life ever.
Starting 4.5 weeks ago. No, but yeah, you know, so it's like I'm on a couple dating apps, but
So, I mean,
Good
do you
luck,
know what
right?
you're looking for? Do you know how to do that? Or
I mean, I know what I want, but that's about it.
so are you going with like a Tremors thing where you, like the, Kevin Bacon going, she'll be 5 foot tall, blonde hair, big boobs.
I mean, that'll be nice, but no.
Well, I mean,
I married that the first time. That didn't turn out so great.
well, you know, in episode 5 of season 3, Barney does point out the simplistic form of what's called the crazy hot scale.
The what?
The crazy hot scale.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah. You know what? I think we should suit up for this part.
You think we should suit up?
Let's suit up.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Suit up!
Hey, Dawson, nice suit, man.
Yeah, you look good, buddy.
You suit up well.
You know,
Barney'd be proud.
You know, I wish it was blue. You know,
Well, I don't have a green one, so you know,
I'll have to work on that. Get you a nice St. Patty's suit
that would be cool.
that you can wear here, and I'll get I can get a blue corduroy, you can green corduroy.
No.
And when we walk, we can be like.
No. All right, so tell me about this. What is this?
Okay, so here we got the crazy hot scale.
All right,
We
all
got
right.
the crazy on this side, obviously, because it just popped up because our producer's a little anxious. Got a little excited. So that's where that one's at there. And he's going even more. All right. So everybody knows that most women have a little crazy in them. So unlike Barney's crazy hot scale, I actually started at 4 because that's generally where most girls are.
So they're all they all have at least 4 crazy.
A little bit of crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Just like most men,
Makes so much sense.
most men have a little bit of douche in them. You know, they're all douchey at some point. A little bit of 4. Most girls would agree with that. Kind of go from there.
Okay.
So,
okay.
on the bottom part, we have the hot,
All right.
and it's going to go 1 through 10. Okay.
1 through 10. Used to that. Okay.
So the whole concept of this is it goes right down the middle, but we're starting at 4. So our crazy hot line is going to start at 4 and go up. This
All right.
is called your crazy hot line, or the Mendoza line, like Barney says, 'cause it's
Okay.
a girl he dated.
Okay.
That would cross the line at any given time. So the concept of the crazy hot scale is you want to find a girl
Mm-hmm.
that's hot but not too crazy. So
Right,
if you
right.
find a girl that's a 7, hot wise, she can only be more about a 6.5, 6 3/4. But when you get to 7, she has to at least no more than 7.
So if she's hot enough, we'll put up with a lot.
Yes,
Okay, got it.
just like put out a lot. And because we are kind of douches, we all have douche in our system.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys, we want to marry at least a 5 or date a girl at least a 5.
Okay.
So we do a little 5 line.
All
okay?
right.
So the sad thing is this becomes the no-go zone.
So anything below a 5.
Anything below 5 and pretty much above a 3 or 4. That's your crazy, super crazy 5 antidepressants. Who knows? We can keep going.
Right.
Okay. Now to break it up, we got kind of this whole section here, right?
Okay.
So ideally, we go from 5 to 8. This is kind of what we call your fun zone. Okay, this is the
right.
girl you're going to date in college, high school, college, late 20s, you know. But I don't know if you noticed something.
What's that?
See this whole area in here?
Yeah.
Super crazy.
Yeah, it's above the crazy line. Yeah.
We call this the danger zone.
Okay.
The danger zone. We avoid the danger zone. This is going to be, like Barney said, your strippers, your strip club workers, which is a stripper.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Yeah. Okay.
hookers.
What
Women that
about
end with
nurses?
them too? Women that end with duh. Stuff like that. They're the ones that are gonna key your car, kidnap your cat, put 17
yeah.
bugs in your house. We just avoid that area.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And as you notice, you slide that kind of line, kind of.
Yeah, I saw that. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that?
So it's because this scale kind of shifts as time goes on. Okay, it kind of fluctuates. Now the great thing is after you've kind of moved out of the fun zone,
Mm-hmm.
we want to go up to where about 7-ish. Yeah, 7 to I'd say 5. You got your 7 above to here. This is your super hot.
Okay.
Okay, super fun, not too crazy, and we call that the dating zone.
All right. All right.
Sadly, this is every guy's going to be hitting on your girlfriend all the time. They'll be trying to steal them from you. Most often, those girls aren't quite that loyal because they're not ready to.
Because they're crazy side.
No, they're not yet. They're still in the not less crazy as hot. Okay.
Okay. So, not that I'm looking to get married right now, but that's where I choose from.
No.
Okay.
So
All right.
when you're really settled down, then you want to find someone that has a little bit of crazy fun. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you want that mom that's actually fun with the kids, all that
Sure.
good stuff.
Sure.
So we go to the 5 to 7 zone. And this is our wife
That's
zone.
the wife zone. Got it. Okay.
So this is going to be your wife that you have fun with. She's super hot, knows the boundaries.
Might stay up till midnight talking about problems because she's angry, but
But then you go, having, wake-up sex.
and
Stuff
okay,
like that.
cool.
Now,
Not like wakes you up at 3 a.m. and smacks you in the face or anything.
no, that would be here.
Fair enough. All right.
All right.
So, all right. So what about like below the 5 crazy though?
Yeah, so the 4 to 5, I mean, this is super rare. We call this the unicorn zone.
Okay.
Okay, it's super rare. Don't have any crazy. If it's an inch, it's enough that you don't really notice.
Uh-huh.
It's like somebody cuts them off. They're like, "Ah, you motherfucker!" And then they're like, "Hey, baby, you want to get some milk?" Kind of thing.
All right. Well, okay. So hold on though, because I've got a friend of mine who was telling me about this girl that he started dating, who's really really cool, really really hot, loves sports, like totally into him.
Yeah.
He can go out with his friends. She doesn't mind all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
She's like below a 4 crazy.
Yeah, so we actually draw that line there.
Okay.
And we call that it's a dude.
It's a dude. I'll have to follow up with him.
Those
All
are
right.
the one that you should tell them, hey, slipper of Viagra, see if something pops up.
Gotcha. I'll
You know,
have
don't
to
go to prison.
I'll,
That's
yeah,
the
I'll
only
talk to
time
him
you'd
about
slip
that.
something is just Viagra, you know, to make sure it's
All
not
right.
little
So
hidden toy in there.
this is very educational now that I'm, kind of getting back out there. But I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Is there anything like this for women though?
You know, I was going to do a douchey side and a hot side kind of thing, but pretty much that's not what women focus on. You know, I've noticed that some women will be totally fine with a 10 douche that's super hot
Yeah.
if they have a certain thing. So go ahead and bring that up, Jason. I call it the matrix of men.
The Matrix of Men.
Okay.
All right.
Now, the matrix of men is kind of interesting because, you know, if we threw the douchey in there, it'd actually be this nice wavy line and all this stuff and be really hard to gauge. So we went ahead and just went with cute
Okay.
and money.
And money.
We all know women like financial security, but they want their husband to be hot. No dad bod at first, all that stuff like
Yeah.
that. And when you think about that, when we interview those 20-year-olds that say, "What do you want? How much should your husband make?" and they're all saying $300,000, $400,000,
$1 million. Yeah.
So we're thinking, you know, money at an 8-ish there, cute at an 8. So we throw those in there. That becomes the no zone for women. Anybody below an 8, money
But-
financially wise, and below an 8, cute wise.
But
or
I'm
handsome
not
wise.
an 8 money.
Yeah.
I'm below an 8 money.
You know what has a lot of money that you could help you out?
Who's that?
A bank. Okay. So
Yeah, they have a lot of my money. I have a lot of debt.
so what happens is anything with a lot of money,
Okay.
you become the husband zone, right? And it doesn't matter how hot you are. This is your Bezos, you
Yep,
know, too,
yep.
with a lot of money.
Zuckerberg.
Gates is down
Don't ban
here
us.
with the devil kind of thing. And then up here becomes the fun zone for them, okay?
So
He's at least
hot
an 8
guys,
hot,
but they don't have a lot of
doesn't
money.
have a lot of money, good
All
to sleep
right.
around
So
with.
the gym bros.
This is where Vanessa's at right now. She's in the fun zone. She needs to transition to this zone, V. You got to do it.
Yeah, but if honestly, I mean, this is where most guys are though.
I know. Yeah.
Because this is, I mean, it's an 8 money, but it really needs to, I mean, the 10 money
Yeah.
is probably where they're all looking.
It's the unicorn.
That's, yeah, okay. All right. Well, I'm doomed. All right.
So that's kind of where we're at. So as a therapist, how would you kind of break that down in a way?
Well, I mean, of course, this is just a funny kind of presentation,
It is,
but
yeah.
you know, more anecdotal than anything else. But you know, honestly, with the clients that I see, there's a lot of people that they think that they're going to find these men,
yeah.
you know,
A lot
or
of money,
a
super
lot of money,
hot,
super
yeah.
hot, whatever. But I have clients who are really good men. They work really good jobs. They make good money, but not this money. And a lot of their spouses are cheating or going out on, you know, finding other guys. Most of the guys are up in the fun zone.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about right now that he found out she's been in the fun zone. Now they're going through a divorce and it sucks. And so that's why, you know, most guys are here,
Yeah.
but
Well, and it's funny because, you know, this is kind of a joking thing, but sadly, when you are in those fun zones and dating zones, you do look at life like that. You do look like
Sadly,
it's a
yeah.
game of judgment and do they have this, do they have that? But it really boils down to, like we talked in the last episode, finding your confidence, dressing to your confidence, dress how you are,
Yeah.
be proud of who you are, and honestly, you'll find your partner. You'll find them easily. Joking aside, you will, and it's important. It's a numbers game. It's going out. It's being yourself, and like.
and I would argue that it's about finding somebody that's genuine, being genuine, and seeing if your crazies match.
Yeah, and it really is, because eventually, when you find that right person, all these numbers, eventually you're going to end up in that unicorn zone with your
Yeah.
spouse, because that's that special person for you,
Absolutely.
you know, and that's kind of cool thing, you know, and you know, it's kind of nice, and if you do find that unicorn, make sure you capture it so we can, you know,
Study it.
study it, duplicate it. We can help a lot of people out that way.
Right.
That's
right.
how we make our millions.
Well, now that I'm starting to get myself out there, we'll see how much of this actually works.
Yeah. Well, and we'll be your wingman, and we'll point out we see the crazy eyes,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So-
I think one movie that every guy kind of got scared off by was Swim Fan.
Oh yeah.
You know that I forget the actress's name, but when she's got the girl tied up in the chair and she's like, "You're in love with me, I know it." Every guy freaked out.
Yeah, same with Fatal Attraction.
Yeah, that one too. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We hope you had fun with this. That's what this was meant to be. But definitely, like, follow, subscribe. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, remember, suit up.
A girl is allowed to be crazy, as long as she is equally hot. Thus, if she's this crazy, she has to be this hot. If she's this crazy, she has to be this hot. You want the girl to be above this line, also known as the Vicky Mendoza diagonal. This girl I dated, she played jump rope with that line. She'd shave her head, then lose 10 pounds. She'd stab me with a fork, then get a boob job. I should give her a call.
Supposedly that's what the gummy bears are too. The gummy
Something like that,
bears
yeah.
bouncing in and everywhere. High adventure beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. In the Navy. We'll be at the dude section in the Navy. Dun, 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 in the Navy. There's no craziness.